Well, folks, you got to relive that victory. You got to go over what happened and how it sets up the rest of it. We're going to have fun tonight. We're going to answer all of your questions live here on RGR Football. Little delay there, little stuff going on. Have an alarm going off in the distance. How are you, Dan Harms?
I am doing better than I was yesterday. I know that a lot of you did give me a lot of positive vibes after I told you I was having an operation last week. But I'm doing okay. If you didn't notice, I wasn't my usual jovial self on the stream. I had to kind of keep it at a minimum, but I'm doing much better today. And tomorrow's video, you're going to see a much more upbeat Dan. So I appreciate all you guys' support and the wishes to get better. I'm doing much better. Thank you.
I like it. I am glad you're feeling all right. Folks, things happen. Things happen to Dan. Things happen to me. Things happen to this team. We're going to go through it. We're going to answer your questions. I have to fix this, so I'm going to let you take this first super chat from Stevie Keys and go from there.
All right. Thank you, Stevie. So my biggest concern is that Andy and Spags use this bye like Super Bowl bye week and rest on the adjustments they've already made instead of ones they need. So I think that they understand the difference between the in-season bye and the Super Bowl bye. They need to still fix some things offensively, and they need to work on a little bit more defensively, specifically tweaking some of the players' usage and finding exactly when is best to use their plays. I think they're starting to get that. And I know that a lot of people didn't like to see Dan Sorensen and Ben Neiman as the nickel and dime backs in some of their dime backers in some of their situations. But as I watched the game over again, the Cowboys took advantage of specifically when Willie Gay and Nick Bolton were on the field together in some of those nickel looks. So they're not exactly ready yet to take over, but the fact that they're using them more, I think, is very encouraging. I talk about that in my video that comes out tomorrow, and just the simple fact that you're starting to see a little bit more experimentation with the way that they're using the linebackers. They have to have these two guys as their nickels for the future because they had drafted them so highly in the second round. So I do like to see them used in that situation. So I think they'll use the bye to actually get more comfortable with the player personnel on defense and start to draw up some plays for this cover too, because Andy Reid has done a good job scheming for the 15 plays, and then they just kind of go away. So I'm hoping to see that start to get implemented with this bye.
Look at that. You went exactly where I would have gone.
Yeah.
It's like we see it the similar way. There's a lot to be happy about from this game, you guys, and clearly there are concerns. We're going to go through them all.
Very much.
This is, I feel in general, I feel better about this team now than I did a week ago, though.
Yeah, very much so. Okay. Especially because we've seen the offense function, and the defense had to be tested. Mm-hmm. The defense was tested, and against one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, make no mistake, just because they didn't have all the weapons, Dak Prescott's still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and they made them work all game long. Nothing was easy. Steve Spagnuolo was ahead of the game all night, and it was so great to see.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with that as well. Like, it's going to take some evolution, but I saw one comment we're going to address here in a little bit that I agree with. Zach, thank you for the super chat. And folks, if you want to support the channel, this is the easiest way. I'm going to give you another option here in a couple of minutes as well. But this always helps, and this goes to us. YouTube takes their share. But thank you for the support for all of you. Much. If you'd like to support further, you can grab stuff in the RGR store. You can join the memberships as well. Memberships get you extra stuff like ranting and raving and like the stuff that truly drives me insane. We'll talk about that later. Extra releases. You get stuff from the guys as well, the whole team here. I know Aaron's in the house. I know Stevie's in the house. I'm sure Gooch will be here. Sean was in last night. Like, the whole crew has been in a lot lately, so you can always get from them as well. And Zach wanted to point out, Dan, hello.
Thank you, Zach.
This team reminds me of 2019, playing great defense at the end of the year. And how about that boy, Snead?
Man, we're gonna, like I said, tomorrow I address pretty much every level of the defense, like how they've improved, and I'm gonna get more in depth on it in the film review because it's gonna be defensive heavy. And Snead's playing at a top cornerback in the NFL level, not just in coverage, in tackling. He's been excellent in tackling, and that is not overstated in today's NFL.
And I will contend, because that's one of my main notes from when I watched him pre-draft. I
Mhm.
think that comes from playing safety and playing in
Mhm.
space. And that year that he took one for the team at La Tech and moved
Yep.
back to the safety, I think you're seeing the benefits of it right now. It's
You're seeing a
huge.
lot.
Yeah,
He's starting to understand. I think he even picks that pass at the end of the game off, even if Chris Jones does not touch it, because he was already
really.
undercut. He was already undercutting that route. Like I've watched it over. He was already undercutting it. I think he was already going to be there because he saw it coming. So as much as because he slowed up a little bit at the end, he had to readjust his positioning because he was there. He was already about to intercept that ball. So it's showing you he's right up here and he's right down where it counts everywhere. He's great.
Yeah, he's rolling. So is this defense. And
Yeah.
that makes the whole team go, especially when you have balance. Stevie Keys, thank you as always. Folks, you can catch Stevie's on Friday with Gooch. I'm not sure if they're going to have an episode this week. If not, I have something for you guys that I think you'll dig. We'll get to that. So I know it's a holiday weekend. We're going to do our normal thing. Dan's got video for tomorrow and for Wednesday. Don't miss those. We'll give you a little bit of a break. I'll do a little thing on Thursday while I'm cooking and doing that kind of thing. And then I got something for you on Friday. So don't forget about the channel just because it's a holiday. You know, I get that. But Stevie, thank you. Defense is finally mostly healthy, playing in the right positions and mostly right percentage of the snaps and are trending upwards. Okay. What still needs to be tweaked during the bye week, in your opinion, Ryan and Dan? Go ahead first, and I'll tell you mine.
So I addressed it a little bit earlier in your question, Stevie, that I think they still need to figure out how much they're using their younger players. I think we're seeing the use of Willie Gay go up as he gets more comfortable. You saw it on 2 plays specifically where he almost picked the ball off on those short curl routes. He's starting to read things better. He's starting to read the quarterback, read and see the offense as it's coming out. So I think he's getting there. Nick Bolton's usage went down a lot in this game because they were in pass heavy situations. Like they were throwing the ball a lot. They couldn't run the ball very well, and Dallas pretty much abandoned it the rest of the game. So they have to figure out how to get Nick Bolton on the field, use him more in some blitz packages. They have to be able to get his downward physical speed into this defense, because as soon as they get that, they're going to continue to create more pressure and more havoc, and that's how you're going to get the most out of your corners that you're still getting in your safeties. That's going to allow balls to come out quicker and maybe less accurate, and you're going to start generating some more interceptions. So I think that specifically on the defensive side, they got to figure out how to involve Nick Bolton's speed and his downward speed in this defense more than just in the run game.
I agree. What was it? 66 total for let's see. Tyron, Snead, and Ward all played 66 total, all the snaps.
Mm-hmm.
Bolton at 19. So less than a third.
Yeah.
That was significant. And again, it was the pass heavy aspect of it. Willie was at 37. So yeah. I think you like that. And Hitch was right in between them. So progress being made. I can see that. For me, it's more of the same. I would like to see them extend the formula. The front 15. I'd like to see him run it out to 20 or 22 plays and emphasize what we saw early again, the running tempo, the balance of run pass, and the hit the back foot and let it fly aspects, quick hitters, because I think that sets the game up. I think it helps Patrick. And that coupled with calling less RPOs, just take the decision making off of his shoulders for more plays, and I think that helps.
He looked more comfortable early in the game when they were getting the ball out quick too. Like they were getting the ball out quick and the offense moved. So like, I don't disagree at all. They definitely have to make him a little bit less reliant on his arm in those situations, because he's shown when given the opportunity, he's going to pull it and try to throw it when you don't have to do that all the time.
Yeah, I'm with you. Cole, with Frank's improvements, do you see him on the roster in 2022, assuming he's continues to improve and he gets charges in California cleared up? No.
Yeah, I don't think it matters. He saves too much money.
Yeah, it's a dollars and cents thing. Like his poor performance or lack of performance to this point has been like the cherry on top or the turd in the punch bowl, whatever you want to call it. But it is about dollars and cents, and it's so much there, especially with Patrick's chunk going back up, with Chris's going up. Like you got to do something about Tyron, or you got to decide what you're going to do in lieu of Tyron.
Maybe they offered to try to tweak his contract before he is gone, like what they did with Sammy a little bit. Maybe they try and do that, but at the end of the day, I just don't. Yeah. I don't think it's going to happen. But maybe he wants to stay here. That's the only thing I can think happening.
Yeah, I agree with you. Bill, how's the Monday playoff game decided? I'm not sure how they slot that. I think last year it was the 4 versus 5 is what I thought. I can't remember. Good question, Bill. I'll try to figure that out and sort that out. Give you an answer. Quentin, what is your opinion on why Mahomes won't even look the way of the check down? I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that.
He's been much more actively doing that the last month or so.
Yeah, I mean, Darrell got all those passes. I thought he checked down enough to the backs last night. I thought it was better, to tell you the truth. Yeah. But hey, Black Steel, hope you're doing good. Man? Ready Whip. So last night, whenever Herbert saw 2 high safety, he just pulled it down and ripped off nice runs. I wish Mahomes would run it more. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that they are a similar level of athlete. No, I don't want to see Pat. I don't want to see Patrick doing that. You don't think Herbert can keep up with Patrick?
No, I don't think Pat can. I don't think Pat's in the same realm of athlete that Justin Herbert is. Okay, he's a much more fluid runner, and there's a reason that he was out there almost getting 100 yards of rushing, because Mahomes, you know, Jeff Allen put it best. He's about a smidgen faster than the guy chasing him. Usually, he's not a guy who's going to go out there and rip off runs, but he can take those 10 to 15 yards that are in front of him if it's all there. Right now, he's still trying to get those yards downfield. You saw him do it a couple different times, hesitate to throw the ball or to actually keep it and run it, because he doesn't. I don't know if he feels comfortable enough to run it with maybe his toe still bothering him or whatever it is, but he does not have that athleticism to just bring it down and run it whenever the opportunity presents himself. And honestly, with his contract, I don't have any issues with him taking less runs. And he's clearly shown that his best attribute is every once in a while taking it, but he needs to be at his best in the pocket and try to, not get hurt.
Yeah, I'm with you there. You guys, before we go much farther, I do want to address this one. Dan, are you going to cover Melvin Ingram in particular on your film review?
I'm going to do a guy at all 3 levels of the defense. So we're going to talk about, I'll just tell you guys right now, so you have a preview. We're going to talk about Melvin Ingram, we're going to talk about Willie Gay, and we're going to talk about L'Jarius Sneed. Those are the 3 guys that I'm going to cover in depth on Wednesday.
Rock on. I like to hear it. And I'll bet you it'll creep in there. And I want to share with you guys, if you would support the people that support us, we have a new sponsor, a returning sponsor, and they have quite a deal for you. Because it's Thanksgiving, and be thankful for your family and for food and for free bets as well. You can go to DraftKings Sportsbook right now, and they're the official betting partner of the NFL. And on Turkey Day, it is a Thursday thing. They have a no-brainer that you can't miss. New customers can bet just $1 in a Thanksgiving NFL game, one of the 3, and $100 in free bets is what you can win if either team scores a point. And you got to think nobody's getting double zeros, right?
I assume someone's getting a point there.
Yeah, I have to assume as well. If Sportsbook isn't available in your state, which not all of them are, you can still get on the Thanksgiving NFL action. Just go over there, make your first deposit, and you get a chance to play for free millions with DraftKings daily fantasy contests. Those are a lot of fun as well, especially the daily stuff. I think sometimes that's more fun, to tell you the truth. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable, but best of all, you can deposit and withdraw whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now and use the promo code RGR21. Bet just $1 on any Thanksgiving game and win $100 in free bets if either team scores point. I don't know why we keep saying if, because it's going to happen, people. That promo code is RGR21. This Thanksgiving at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the NFL. You must be 21 or older. Jersey, Indiana, and Pennsylvania only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for all the details. And if you have a gambling problem, please reach out at 1-800-GAMBLER. That is important as well. It's a new world out here, but we want to make sure people take care of themselves as well.
Very much.
And I thought that the Chiefs took pretty good care of Clyde. Yeah. I thought he, in return, gave them some return. Over 5 yards of carry last night. I was pretty happy with that. How were you?
Exactly what he does. Like, he just he just churns out 5 yards of carry every time. And I know that a lot of people don't like the way that he runs, don't like his burst, don't like his speed. But between the tackles, he knows exactly what he's doing, and he gets those yards. He was out-snapped by Darrell Williams by a lot in this game, but he was given way more touches, which tells you that they want that. So, yeah, I think that he was great.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it as well, and I think he'll get going as he gets going. Interesting too that they said that he had not only the hamstring but an MCL issue as well. So that takes a bit.
A little surprised they didn't wait till after the bye then.
Let's see. Oh, did I mess something up in the title? I must have messed it up. Evidently, no, I can't spell you guys. I am terrible on Twitter as well. I think Dave Tobe is getting a chance to interject plays in the special teams because he of what played out with Britt Reed. No, Britt Reed had nothing to do with special teams.
Yeah, like, it was just
Dave Tobe's always been the coordinator. It's basically he and Andy, like the Thompson throw. That's been in there for a long time. Obviously, we've seen it in years past. That's like a conglomeration of Andy and Dave.
Yeah.
Britt Reed was, he was assistant D line and then assistant linebackers. Not much special teams work there too. Man, what did I spell wrong? Now you guys got me all paranoid.
Like, pull it up over here and see what we got.
Check that for me, will you? I'll get to the next one. Christo, when I looked at the schedule, I thought it was a bad spot for the bye, but now I think it was the perfect time. I agree with you. Like, I actually said when it came out that I was happy. It is late in the season. Man's laughing, so I did something dumb.
So we've got Chiefs dump Dallas Cowboys Rollin, Roolin, into second half. HLAF.
So I was in a hurry this afternoon, folks.
Just throw it together.
Yeah, I was trying to make sure that it got done on time. Yeah, hey, it is. Everybody, I'm just going to fix this right now.
That's fine.
What do you think about where the bye is placed and how it's done?
I think the Chiefs are okay with this bye. I feel like, isn't it like good teams always get late buys and bad teams usually get early buys? I think that's kind of how I've noticed it. Then I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking of or seeing what I want to see. But I feel like the later buys, specifically this one, is perfectly placed for the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. They were able to figure out some of their issues in season. Now they have an opportunity to fix some of the stuff that they've worked on and hopefully get it back on the page with this bye after they've shown a defense improvement. Now, I know a lot of people talk about it could derail the train and some momentum and things like that. But I think it's perfectly placed for them this season.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I like them getting the toughest part out of the way up front. And the AFC West is boiling down like we thought. So I feel pretty good about it. Seth, it appeared that it was Eric Bieniemy to me last night on 2 or 3 shots that I saw of it. I can't say that I thought that of weeks past. Like, I thought a week ago it might have been Andy. I don't know. They don't show it enough for me to have a real sense of who it is. So if you guys are at the games, bring some binos and let me know, will you? There you guys. I think I have that fixed now. So
all right, cool.
Can all feel better about myself. I mean, whatever we're gonna do. Ready Whip. Also, why so many RPOs that could pull them for a while Pat is under center more also, and I'm overall happy with a couple of concerns. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we were talking about before. I think we all feel like that's probably better for him. Mm-hmm. But it's also a mixture because Andy wants to keep it fresh, keep teams on their toes.
I don't know, man. I'm just the RPOs teams have figured out how to defend them pretty well because the Chiefs typically get it out really, really quick, and there's only a couple different passing lanes to get into. They go into the flat, or they go like right where that linebacker's getting out of, in that little slant area, the curl. So they can just sit in those areas, and then you have to get the ball out quick, or you're going to get a penalty called on you. So I think they have to start changing it up a little bit because they're not getting much out of the RPOs.
That's fair,
in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'd rather just see him throw a real curveball and stand in the pocket, and I wouldn't mind seeing them, keep a tight end in and sacrifice one of the routes from time to time.
Yeah,
give somebody something they're not expecting. Nipper Girl, thank you very much. We weren't expecting that as well, but thank you. Seth George, has there been any scheme changes that help explain the defensive improvements? This is all personnel. Like Spags blitzed 12 times yesterday, which was less than the week before, which was less than the week before that. So like that's a little bit of a trend, but I think that's just because the personnel are better.
But yeah, and I think that they didn't want to over pepper Dak Prescott on
Right.
the off chance that someone got loose, just because he's been so good against the blitz. But he made him think a lot, and so that was great.
Yeah. Thank you, Nipper Girl. Stevie, thank you again for all the positives. The offense didn't look pretty. That was without Gregory and Lawrence, without both playing, and the offense couldn't look much worse.
He's just saying with both of them playing, as in Gregory and Lawrence, then the offense could have looked much worse.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Although, honestly, I don't want to undersell their effectiveness. Lawrence is Lawrence, and he would have gotten his. I'm not that impressed with Randy Gregory. I just haven't been, and especially if one of them has to play on the interior, I feel pretty comfortable with that, to tell you the truth.
I don't know. I think that would have allowed Parsons to play on the inside, and that can be a big advantage of his speed, which I think would have made things a bit worse, because then you can really collapse the pocket and you can get some mismatches with Parsons' speed, because he's actually exceptional everywhere. Pass rushing, you can just, it doesn't really matter. So I think from an extent, yes, I agree, but then I think that they could have figured out how to get the ball out a little quicker and would have forced them to play a little faster.
Yeah,
so maybe it would have helped them.
Yeah, I would have liked that too. Fair point. Fair point. What happens if Baker to Baker? Does he get to play if Fenton is hurt? Thank you, Michael. Yeah, I would expect that he should be well recovered and he would be active then.
Yeah, I think that Fenton's going to be okay though. That's what we're the impression that we've been given. So
yeah, he was supposed to have MRI today. I haven't seen a thing, so that tells me that he's doing all right. Or else we probably would know about it. Cali Chief, yes, they are definitely rogue right now. Not a question, but hey, looking strong. Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate it, man.
Chief's comments, am I wrong to be encouraged by 19? Wide receiver 3 snap percentage went back to him after a bad drop and seems to have a positive attitude. I can't take anything away from that, no, but I would take more positiveness away from the snap count that they gave Pringle.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, okay. But yes, hopefully, I was disappointed. And I was a little frustrated for Josh that he dropped that one. You know,
too.
like, because I thought that was a way to get going. I hope that they feed him more.
That was I think that was the one that may have opened the floodgates a little bit. A third down, you catch it, you get that first down. Maybe Pat goes back to a little bit more. Like, I think that every time he goes there, the ball's dropped and he's like, okay, I don't want to mess with it anymore. Like, I just feel like they just need to get that chemistry down.
And I don't know that is like is a concerted effort. Like, I just think that's
I do too. Like, they were like, okay, let's get in the ball, and then it was just like, okay, well, I don't know.
Yeah, is Fenton playing himself into someone we want to extend this offseason? I don't see his didn't see his grade after the game, but he was PFF's number 1 TV. Yeah, I think they've wanted to extend him the whole time. I think he's not eligible until after this season, if I remember correctly.
This is his 3rd season, so
yeah. So yeah, they'll definitely extend him. They'll definitely extend Naughty. They want those guys back. They've played well, but they haven't played well enough to
be expensive.
Yeah,
they haven't been able to be expensive. The perfect players.
So yeah, they got to keep it cheap. I think honestly we're going to see a bit of a change. Especially, I know Clark Hunt said they still want to try to get Tyron in. I'm a little concerned about that. If they move on from Tyron and don't bring him back, let go of Frank, let go of Hitch. They got to do some more things contract wise with Orlando and Tyreek. Like, this could get very young very fast.
Yep, it definitely could.
And that's good and bad. And good Lord, we're half an hour behind. I'm so sorry, you guys. What's the opinion on why Mahomes won't even look at the check down? Oh, okay, we did that one. Yeah, got that. That's because I'm so far behind you guys. I'm going to speed through these. What was not the best defense performance since DJ, Holly, and Houston? Side note, he's become such a sure enough football player. Yes. I mean, I expected him to get here. I saw this potential in college. I didn't expect to be this fast in any way. Like, I expected him to complete his first year and maybe look like he did last year now.
Yeah.
And I expected this maybe in year 3. So I can't say enough about the kid. Is Veach the best? Is this Veach's best draft class so far?
I think without a doubt it kind of is. Right now, barring you've got all your picks, outside of Kendo and Powell. Like, everyone's playing, and I think that they're 2 rookies that are on the offensive line are playing starters, like, immediately playing well. So I think that boosts it more so than we would have thought from other draft classes.
I was concerned about Gray until a week ago. So that's still pretty fresh. Let's see what happens. But I will tell you, I think the key metric right now is this is the best draft for a 2nd round pick. That's usually where they've made some mistakes or
Yes.
overdrafted a trait that didn't work out. Nick Bolton, I think, you can easily argue that he's the best second rounder they've had. I mean, they didn't pick Chris Jones, so that's what I'm saying. Let's not go there. I know somebody's going to throw something that I said, not Chris. Peta, how are you? I believe we were all right about Spags' cut. Okay.
I'm not sure what that means. I'm sorry, man.
I think everybody was right to be concerned. I think Spags is just like, I don't know. I need to sit down with him at some point.
I think this is Spags. I'll tell you right now. He's like, first month and a half of the season, I don't care. I'm going to play guys where I want to play them. We're going to figure everything out in the first 6 weeks of the season. And then, all right, it's about halfway through. Let's go ahead and start changing things up and figure it out, which is what they've done just about every year under him. So like, this was nothing new to them. I think that I got a little over out in front of it because it's year 3 at this point. You have the players, you've had the same players, you've had input on the players you want, and it needs to be a little bit faster.
Yeah. I was just going to say, like, I think Spags is more conservative about making the adjustments based on what he sees than I want him to be.
Yeah, me too. I still have some misgivings about the way he plays defense in today's NFL. Stylistically, some of the players that he prefers, I have my own misgivings with that because I don't agree with that myself.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I think we're seeing with Melvin Ingram and his speed that you need some speed at defensive end, but okay.
It helps. A
little bit.
Christo, I can't tell you why the national media isn't on him a little bit more. I think it will here pretty soon, but if you go listen to Buffalo media, they are all over him. So he's not getting a walk. I guarantee you that. Jared, we're just going to speed through these a little bit, Dan. How many corners do we have after this year? And do you guys think that they can take one early in the draft? I think they should. You'll have Snead, Fenton, Baker. Did they lose Bo Pete? They lost.
Yeah, Bo Pete's
okay.
Colt, I think.
Hughes is on a 1 year. Ward is on his last year, so you'll have room to maneuver there. And I do think they will go early in the first top 100 easily. Frey, I love Travis, but something is wrong with the 4 or 5 intercepts came off of Kelsey. Yes, I mean, and Kelsey knows it. He's pissed off enough, like he knows he needs to get this figured out. What grade would you give the Chiefs rookies individually so far? Hit that one, then we'll hit guys.
All right, so I think we're going to go straight off with an A for Creed. I'll give an A- to Trey. I think he's had some penalty problems, specifically as of late. I think Nick Bolton, considering what he is, you can give him a B+. Gray, I'm still at a C. There's just not much to go off of. And then obviously Kando and Powell, there's not enough there. So I have to say incomplete for those guys.
Yeah, I'd knock everybody down a letter basically except for Creed.
I get it,
just based on upside.
As a 6th-round draft pick, I'm going to give him an A.
Fair enough. Guy or Guy, if you're from Canada, is Andy doing EBA a solid by having him call the offense? It seems like there's no strategy involved in not setting up plays later in the game. I think part of it is you want to let Eric call more so you can help him get his job. It's also a thing that I think they're a little too reactive. I think they're a little too concerned about giving things away.
No.
Like all that rolls up into those things. And I think for him, I think you could definitely see when the first 15 runs out. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Thank you, Guy. Appreciate it. What's the point of training camp if it takes 10 regular seasons to get it? It's the nature of the beast, Alan. Everything changes, especially when you have so many young guys playing. No. Like you can train, but it's about how the defense adapts to you in the first couple of weeks, and then you're changing from that, and then you're changing from that, and then you have guys hurt. It is a constant merry-go-round about who you're adapting and what you're adapting to. What about this one? Take this.
All right, so thank you, Samuel. When did this team become the Steelers? That's kind of a funny question because last year the defense wasn't very good. Like they were pretty bad everywhere, but this last month they've been the best defense that they've been even under Spags. I think even before, but even in the Super Bowl here. So they've been really, really good. That's all you can really say.
Yeah. Bill, I still don't know exactly how that is happening. Avoiding the Monday night game. I mean, yeah, you're playing on a short week the next week if you win. So yeah, I can understand that, but I don't know that you have that much input into it yet. Right now, you're just trying to get wins and get into the game. So how did y'all view Trey in his game yesterday? B-, C+, something around there?
Yeah, that's where I would go with him. He's a little hot-headed. I think we all kind of figured out, which I got no issues with. Um,
I still want to know what he said.
I guarantee he swore. He swore at the ref. I'm telling you
Yeah,
right
but
now,
I
he
want to
swore
know.
at the ref. I know, I do too. But yeah, he swore at the ref, and he's had some holding issues this year.
Yeah.
But that's what it is.
It
But no, I
comes
got
back to the feet. There are times
yep.
where he gets beat with speed, he has to grab on.
Yep.
And I think when he trains with other professional linemen, when he works with Mitch Schwartz, who says he still wants to train guys and do the O-line mastermind thing, I think that will improve Trey. And I think if he can drop a couple of pounds, I think he can improve his feet, and that will help with the holds. Neil, what's the ceiling on Hardman? You've seen it.
Yep. Unfortunately, I think we have seen it. He used 12 snaps yesterday. That's not good.
Yeah. Kemper is flying. I'm glad that you're flying. Hopefully you're flying safely. Underneath Dan, if you're on a computer, is the join button. You can just click that, and then you just choose your level. If you want the extra videos and stuff, you got to be a rookie and above. If you do that, you get into the Discord as well, you guys. That is here. You got to email me once you join and you're a rookie. I'll send me the name that is on your account, not your email, but your name. I'll check that against the list, and then I'll email you a link. That's exactly how it'll go. But thank you for your interest as well. Members get a lot of pluses, and I hope that you enjoy them. Tactics, how are you? Been a while. Noticed that all the games this year look like worst games of 2020, like the Falcons and the Broncos the second time. Yeah, and I think it's just breaking the mold. Do you?
I don't necessarily. I think that last year they weren't playing at a high level on purpose. I think it was very much game scripted, and they played down to their opponents. I think this year they've just faced more defenses saying, okay, you're not going to run the ball at 30 times a game to beat us, to force us out of this shell. And we're just going to stay and do it and force you to change the way that you play. And the Chiefs haven't done it. So that's what I would say.
I'm with you. Zach Duggar, I like the idea. If Andy's first 15 is that good, run it the whole game. The only problem is they'll catch on to that. You know, everybody's got guys in the booth watching. We got stuff. But I'm with you. Mike Daniel, love to see Ward getting better, but most improved goes to Fenton. It's so good to see him, the patience being rewarded. I mean, honestly, I don't know that I would call Fenton the most improved. He's been this good for a while. Like, I don't know.
I would disagree a little bit. I think
Yeah.
last year he was a very good slot player / safety. They used him more of a slot safety. He's being used as an outside corner. He's playing a little bit more everywhere, but his versatility is, I think, from being a 6th-round draft pick to improving to this point, I would say he's been one of the most improved. But I think that Snead's a little bit more. Like, you have Fenton right here, and then you have Snead just above him in terms of improvement because his ceiling is so much higher. So it does do that to you a little bit.
Thank you, Mike. Dan, have you honestly sounded like Mahomes hater all year? Don't understand the hate. Question for Brandon. Do you think that Mahomes is the best NFL quarterback?
I'm sorry, man. That sometimes truth hurts. Okay. And Mahomes has had some struggles this year, but he's still the best quarterback in the NFL. I think that at one point we all just talk about all the great things about him, but a lot of people don't want to talk against a quarterback or a person that great when they struggle. I'm never going to be someone to shy away from that, and you're going to know that real quick. So he's still the best quarterback in the NFL, but the fact of the matter is he's had some struggles this year, and we have to point it out, and he needs to know it to get better.
Yeah. He's still the best quarterback in this league.
Yeah.
We are always going to say what can improve, though.
Exactly.
For those you guys that have been around for a while, we're analysts first, fans second.
I tried.
And that's never going to change. I get a lot of questions about that on every platform that I'm on. Why don't you wear Chiefs gear? Why aren't you a fan enough? Because I'm not. Because I've coached. Because I'm not that way. I'm trying to analyze the game and make it easier for everybody to understand and point things out. And even sometimes people who pay attention, and that's part of the goal as well. So that's why. Was the running game yesterday closer to what we're expecting? Expecting from Andy not to call enough of it?
I was about to say, yeah. From Andy, he's just like, whatever. We're gonna pepper some runs in here, even though they're giving us favorable looks all game. Yeah. But again, Clyde was good. 5.2 yards a carry. I mean, that's just what it is. He's just not being utilized enough.
Yeah, they'll get there eventually when they have to, and they'll use it as a weapon, but only until they have to. All Bono felt like more option runs than normal. Yeah, I felt as well. To the point where I wasn't very happy with the second one.
The second one didn't look good.
Didn't feel like you needed it either.
No, it was, especially when they were doing well running it up the middle. They were just like, let's get it outside really quick for no reason. Andy,
Tactics,
stop it.
Tactics. I'm somewhere in between the kid from the Sandlot and Louis C.K. I get that one a lot. Baby Gronk, Dan gets a lot.
I do get that a lot.
We're just here for the stand-up value.
Yeah, you know.
That's it.
If Gronk ever sees this, I'm your long lost brother apparently. So
right. Just doesn't crush everything on his head every time he drinks it. It's okay. Yeah. Stack bundles. Josh Gordon's lateral route quickness is gone. He looks like he's bloated out there, and is safe to say that he is never going to contribute. I would not say that. No.
Yeah.
I think he's having a little bit of trouble adjusting his routes to what Andy wants. I think that is still the growing in process.
Yeah. And I still think he's not completely in game shape.
Yeah, but I will say this: it's not because he's bloated. I'll tell you.
No, he's definitely not bloated. I think he looks actually pretty good on the field.
Yeah. Jeremy, am I the only one who thinks Snead is a defensive player of the year award in his future? Sure. Blitzing, run game, sure tackle. He can cover. What a football player he's becoming. Yep. Yeah. You'll get no argument from us, I don't think.
Nope. I think you're spot on there. But being a defensive player of the year is a fickle thing. You have to get those turnovers.
Brazil in the house. I must have missed something.
Awesome.
Welcome. Hope that you are doing well. I love seeing people from around. Take this one. I'm going to scan ahead a little bit.
All right. Thanks for the question, William. How much did Niang being out impact the offense versus Parsons? CH was very effective again running the ball. Do they finally unleash him after the bye? I have no faith that Andy Reid's going to actually unleash him after the bye. I think that you're going to see 12 to 15 carries a game, which is pretty normal for Clyde. And Niang being out, I think we're seeing both him and Remmers being out be more impactful than people probably thought would be the case, specifically because you're playing Andrew Wiley at right tackle. But Parsons would have been a difficult out for either three of those guys. Niang would have had the best option because he can get to that deep spot. But Parsons was doing a lot of outside inside. He's so quick. He's the natural athlete that he is. It's hard to play, and that's why he's been so good, and that's why he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a huge athlete, like incredible.
He's creepy good. Thank you, Bill. Aaron, this is year 3. Started a little bit before the 19 season. Yeah.
Wow. I felt like it was longer ago.
Yeah, it was draft 19 is when we started. And I don't even think we'd met yet.
No, we had when you started it. I didn't get up till the next year.
Scott, thank you for the super chat last night too. I think I answered it, but I just wanted to make sure. If not, Aaron will tell me. Potspec's defensive play calling, your thoughts on his cover 2 and nickel sets. I'd like to see more nickel than dime. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, especially because your dime backer is Ben Neiman or Dan Sorensen.
Yeah.
And your nickel backer can be somebody else.
Yeah. Since Blake Bell's more of a blocking tight end, why are we not using him as a fullback? Because a blocking tight end isn't a fullback. That's what you have Mike Burton for.
Yes.
Bell lining up as an H, Noah as an H, or both of them in line. I thought Bell's been better in spot than I expected him to be, tell you the truth.
Yeah, he's been a little bit better blocker than last year, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. And he's allowing them to get the run game going a little bit and give them some pass protection too, which is something I didn't anticipate. So yeah, he's been a much better blocker this year than I had previously remembered. So,
and Lego, I'm not trying to be a pain. Half teasing, it's because of speed. Both Gray and Burton are faster of foot. Is just the way that it boils down. So you can't really put him back there. Do you think that we'll switch up the receiver room even more than they already have? Maybe playing Hardman less. Yeah, what was it, 12 snaps last night?
Yeah.
Put Noah on the field more. He did not get Noah's snaps came down too by about a third. So they're just playing it matchup, I think, Quinn.
Yep.
Patrick, it was the game yesterday. The 12th man was definitely evident last night. Yeah, I mean, we heard it. My wife was she chuckles. My wife is now a half-hearted Chiefs fan. Like she grew up a Broncos fan, but she likes watching. She actually knows more of the Chiefs players' names than the Broncos, but she just started throwing stuff at me last night. They went to a break. I'm typing my notes and you could hear the announcers trying to talk over the chant.
Yeah.
And she's just like, we don't do that here. Yeah. Because Bronco fans are
fickle.
Yeah. Felt it was a little disrespectful of Daryl to the lack of snaps that he had earned more. Yeah, I mean, but Andy's always been the guy that starts the starter even if he's hurt.
Yeah, and he also outsnapped Clyde by a good deal. He just didn't get the touches, which I thought was a little disrespectful.
Yeah, I'm with you. Could be as simple as Mahomes just can't see over the giant O-line. He's a pretty tall dude. I doubt that's it. Can't argue with the results. Chris Jones needs to play on the interior permanently. Yeah, I mean, switch it up every now and then.
And they do.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that.
It's enough.
It's funny how if you go back and watch the videos, you guys, from camp, from preseason in particular, like I think we first called it, we're like, oh, maybe he'll play 30% outside. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, we're getting wind. He's going to play half outside, like more and more and more. And it's like, dang, I don't care.
I was uncomfortable. I should have gone with my gut.
Yeah, if you have a real edge, then it's fine. Honestly, when they didn't have Ingram, they needed him out.
No, but that was their own fault. True. They refused to invest in the position because they thought that Chris would be a top 5 defensive end.
Yeah,
he wasn't a top 5 defensive end.
Thank you, Longmorn. Appreciate it. No update today. They are off most of the week, so we probably won't hear until Friday. I think they'll come in for treatment on Friday, is what I understand. So we'll find out. Spencer, could Pat's toe still be bothering him? I think we both have thought that on and off.
A little bit, maybe.
It looked like a high ankle to me earlier in the season as well. Like nothing that would keep him out, obviously, but just enough to like irritate him.
Yeah.
Cole, assume worst case scenario, and we end up playing the Super Wildcard Weekend, as it's now called. Go through who you would prefer to play in the path to the Super Bowl. I don't care.
It doesn't really matter.
Honestly, I think we've seen this, you guys. The only team that beats them is them. They can beat anybody in the AFC.
Yep. Like if we're talking about players, the teams that I would like be like wanting to see, give me the Steelers. Give me that offense and just give me 39-year-old Big Ben who can't play anymore. I got like nothing, no issues.
Thoughts on Wiley? What did you see?
He got much more push in the run game than I was anticipating, whether that was because Dexter Lawrence and Randy Gregory weren't playing, but he was moving guys a little bit better. I think you saw a pocket when he was there. He had some wins and losses against Parsons, which you expect. So it was not as bad as he was last year outside of the Saints game. I think he's acquitted himself rather well.
Yeah, I like it. Let's hope he can sustain it until he can go back.
Yeah,
Yang's still better. Like it's not.
Oh
close.
Yeah, it's not close. So is Remmers.
Yeah.
So is Remmers.
Yeah. So, but good for him for filling in and doing his job as a backup. That's what backups roles are. You don't have to sustain the whole season. That's why you are where you are. Lego, has Mike Hughes done enough good to be back next year?
No,
I don't think so either.
No,
not yet. If they have trouble, if they try to go to the open market and get a veteran corner and they can't get one, then maybe.
Yeah.
Like he'll definitely be a second tier, third tier free agent. So they'll have an opportunity if they really need it. Yeah. Josh, hope you're doing well. You guys check out Josh Fan's channel as well. Josh, throw that in the chat so everybody can see it. Is it just me or does Javarius Ward look like he finally learned to get his head around? Looks like a totally different player. Yeah.
I won't say one play makes him a totally different player. I just still think that he's what he is, and that was his strength right there. And he just happened to get it right. But I think he's looked better as of late.
I think I've seen him do it more. He's not doing it all the time, though.
No.
So we're not fixed yet.
It's not going to be. It's never going to be his thing. Like that's who he is.
Gold Towel, thank you very much. Hope EB took notes on Pollard's play. Stash away for the playoffs. Direct snap to Hardman, fake. Reverse.
Yeah. See, that would make more sense than trying to pass it off to Dak Prescott or Patrick Mahomes. Like, no offense to Bolton, don't ever go after the quarterback on that nonsense. Go after the guy with the ball. Like that was one thing that really irritated me. He's not going to pitch that to Dak Prescott, guys. He's not doing it.
No, it's just based on instinct and reps of what guys saw in little league and high school and stuff. That's all that is. PKTM 811. Sounds like a Star Wars reference. I know we have a good linebacking core, but what about signing Jalen Smith as insurance? No, he cannot run.
He just can't play.
I'm just impressed that he had an NFL career. To tell you quite
after
frankly,
that injury,
trying to move. Yeah, that was. I didn't think he'd ever play, but no, he is not capable right now. Let's see something. What are the options at right tackle? Yeah, I do as well. And then could we get something out of him? What are the options at right tackle? I mean, Yang and Remmer should return. Neither of them are season ending, so I think we're okay. And you see Wiley filling in, so we're just going to let that roll.
Yep.
Night Hunter, gotta say it's nice that the defense stepping up, not looking like half the players don't know where to be. Yeah, absolutely.
The effort's been noticeable too.
Tom Davis, thank you very much
Tom.
for the
Appreciate
support. We'll look for that. Nothing with the Fenton injury update yet, you guys. Seth, Piper, Pringle did play more snaps. Third after Hill and Kelsey last night.
Yep.
That's a significant step. Brendan Lake, thank you for the super chat. Do you think the defense is playing so good is why the offense stalled out because they don't feel any pressure to execute? Not an excuse, but a reason. I don't.
No, I don't think so.
Especially after the previous week when the defense played pretty well and they still tried to, what'd they get, 41 points?
Yeah.
They need to do that every week. That was not them letting up. I think they were having some issues.
I agree.
Big Chief Sean, you can see him on game day mornings, you guys. Make sure you check that out and hit his channel. Big Chief Sean Football is a search you can do that will find it. And Sean, put your link in there too. We're just going to shout out everybody that's related. So, hey, we'll give in and run the ball more, seeing that gives us more success. He's had evidence in front of him for 20 years. He is who he is.
And he's had it this entire season. Like, he's had it. They've been giving you every opportunity to run the ball. Every defense is going to do it, and yet he refuses. So,
yeah. Phil, you have it right, and that's the question: is they feel that they're doing their work, setting their foundation, in the early drives, and then they do what they want to do, and they want to go downtown. They don't want to run the ball; they want to attack, and then you see it stall out.
The Bills and the Chiefs offenses are legit mirrors of themselves. Like, defenses are saying, beat us, because you're not going to run the ball 20, 50, 20, 30 times a game. Go ahead. Throw it into double coverage. Throw it down the field. Just bang your heads against the wall. And what's happening? They're struggling because they refuse to change. The Chiefs have the ability to run the ball. The Bills don't. There's a difference.
Yeah. Alan, no. Powell's not going to be on the roster. They won't elevate him.
Nope.
As we've seen, they'll elevate Fountain first. He just needs a year to develop. See how he looks next offseason.
Still sad.
Doug, they put Michelle on the 53 because two teams were trying to claim him off of the practice squad, which he could have just taken the contract and walked away and said, great, I'm happy to be on a 53. When he came back to the Chiefs, he definitely did.
I think they see him as a future backup.
Yeah, and they wanted to reward him for his loyalty and not just taking the first contract that came along. So good for him. Tom Florek, got you back here. Plus 40 years. That's impressive.
That's awesome.
Wow. Where would you rank this O and D in our past teams? D for sure was up there with 94, 96. This offense is head and shoulders above all the others. I mean, if you mean the Reed eras, the offense I could get with, but this defense is nowhere near 94, 96.
I don't even think it's near 2013 good.
Yeah, I mean,
because that was, people forget, that was, even though it was Bob Sutton, it was a really good defense. They were turning the ball over. They were getting after the quarterback. They were doing a lot of stuff.
I will dig through and see what PFF says for pressures, because they have data going back. I don't know if they go all the way back to the Derek days, but I will tell you this: Derek Thomas produced more pressure than this entire team has so far. And I am not kidding. He produced pressure. If I remember the numbers in college, he was producing pressure every other snap.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous.
50% pressure rate is unheard of.
It's unheard of.
NFL. But no, this offense is up there. It's not as good as 19, I don't think. No. And 19, I would say, was just as good as any of the Vermeil years.
And it's not as good as 18s either.
Yeah. But I think that the adjustments are coming, and I think it has the potential to get back on par with the Vermeil years. And we'll see if it ever catches up to 19 and 18.
Yeah, we'll see.
But I mean, honestly, Patrick's not that far behind his pace from 19 right now. So they're not running for as many yards, and they're giving up more points on the defensive side and that kind of thing. You know, it all kind of evens out. But yeah, man, I am so far behind. I apologize, you guys. Melvin for a sixth best trade that Veach has done. The difference in having him and D and Jones at tackle made this unit completely different. Absolutely, Douglas. That's what we talked about last night. Same thing. Like, that was the catalyst that changed everything. Okay, I'm going to skip some of these guys because there's a lot of redundant things that we've talked about are right. But Kemper, yeah, hit the join button. It's not showing up for the membership. If you're outside the U.S., it might be a problem with that.
Or if you're on your phone, it's
yeah,
not
there's
the same.
Yeah, there's a join thing next to the icon on the phone. Wait till this finishes. Let it reset so it's viewable again, and then try it then. That's the best I can say. Accolade, it'll just depend on who's healthy. If Remmers is back and Niang isn't, it'll be Remmers. If Niang's back, it'll be Niang.
Yep.
If you're just grading Ingram on setting the edge, how do you feel he's doing?
I mean, I've seen him split double teams in the run game. I think he's doing a better job than I anticipated. So if I'm giving him a grade, I'm going to give him a solid B on being a run first defensive end too. So he's doing a good job.
He's not quite as good as Frank, but he's pretty dang good. I see Gooch's indigestion starting to flare up. That's the way that happens.
I mean, it happens, man. Sometimes there's nothing you can do about it.
Night Hunter, we agree Pringle should be the number 2, the X.
I think he has been over the course of the last 2 games, defiantly being the guy who has got the most snaps out of the other receivers. So
Chris, the tight end, whoever's in that position, who's in the game, the time when the call comes in, that's who gets it. They're not targeting plays specifically designed for Blake Bell or Noah Gray. That's just the way that the cookie crumbles when they're in there. Gooch, hello, Keys, and Rogue Nation, folks. If you want to be part of Rogue Nation, you need to be a member of the channel. So hit the join button, rookie and above, and you can get into the Discord. You just got to email me, and that is this thing that I keep going back to and clicking. So rgrpodcast@gmail. That's how you get into the Discord. Once you're a member, just hit me up on there, and then we can get you rolling. Let's see. Getting the questions. Ryan, how you doing? 2 missed field goal attempts in the PAT. Any concern for Bucker?
Every year, man.
Right.
Every year when something starts to happen, both the missed field goal and the missed extra point were both into the wind and the swirling wind. And I got no issues with Harrison Butker. None. Dude's one of the best kickers in the NFL.
I say just take 2 false starts every time he has to kick a.
Fine with that. I don't care. Just let him boot it.
You guys, I'm not going to address refs, and I'm not going to address the calls on taunting. You want that? You can see my rant on the members channel, because that I cannot start that without cussing. So
it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Few things drive me more insane. So jet sweeps, yes, Redwood, they should do more of that. Info. Baker over Hughes this season? No,
probably not.
Why hasn't Darius Fund got more opportunities? Just because Marcus Kemp plays good special teams, everybody else has options there. They don't throw the up ball enough.
They never will, and that's why, as much as everyone wanted Fountain to make this roster, he was never going to get an opportunity to do what he does best, because what he does best does not fit in this team.
Yeah. Southern Bell, thank you for the super sticker.
Yes, thank you very much.
And welcome to the chat. Let's see. Do you think LDT at right tackle would work better than Wiley? Maybe for the Jets, but LDT's not here anymore, you guys.
And now he's starting at guard for the Jets. So
right. I'm happy for him. I know he didn't want to leave town, but I'm happy that he got to play, and I think that's the only reason that he left. Cardinals and Chiefs Super Bowl will be a great game. Hey,
that would be
it's looking pretty good.
That would be a good game.
I mean, and how do you not give credit to the coach, whose name just escaped me for some reason?
It's going to escape me too, because I can see his face.
To have his college quarterback and his pro quarterback in the Super Bowl, that would be incredible for Cliff Kingsbury, who now just
as soon as you said it, it went blank from my head.
Folks laid into the chat. No, still no word on Fenton yet. We'll know when we know. Brendan, thank you for the super chat. The way the defense has performed while healthy, does it make sense to take a receiver with the first round? No.
As much as I would love them to do that, no, they still have more. They still have more needs at defense, specifically in the offseason, than they do at wide receiver. And wide receiver is always going to be deeper. It's always going to be deeper. Now, does the board fall to where they can because of availability? Yes, that's definitely a possibility. But right now, I think corner and defensive end are your 2 positions that they're going to be looking at in the first round.
I think it's safe to say the Chiefs should make the AFC Championship. We can talk Super Bowl later in the year, you guys.
Yeah.
But just say they're picking 29th.
Yeah, let's just say.
There are going to be more players available at 58 in the second at the wide receiver spot than there are at edge and at corner. Yes, it's a sizable draft class for the edges. It's still not going to be near as good as it is for wide receiver at that point. So it's just a matter of priority and getting value for the pick. Zach, Chief said Fenton will be fine after the MRI. Okay, cool. I had not seen that from a decent source, so I'm glad.
Matt said it, not Matt Verdame, whatever his name is, said that's what they said. But
like I said, why did Andy use Kareem Hunt more during the first half of 18, not CEH this year? Patrick threw to Kareem more too. I'll tell you this. There's something going on that we don't know about because he should be throwing to CEH. That's what he did in college. That was his best thing. I will say this. Kareem Hunt is a better pass catcher, like on deeper balls, like where he has to track. I think he's a better pass catcher away from the line of scrimmage than CEH is. I don't think that's a reason, but I do think that's true.
I think Andy also they had the offensive line and already established the run game with Kareem Hunt. And it was also Patrick Mahomes' first year. You're going to run the ball a little bit more with a rookie, essentially a rookie quarterback, and let him not have to have everything on his shoulders. And then the Chiefs were like, okay. And though, granted, Kareem Hunt did it to himself. He would have been on this team had he not been, the POS that he was, and decided that his needs were greater than the team's. So that happened there. And now that the Chiefs have basically said, okay, Patrick Mahomes is it, we're just going to ignore running the ball and throwing the ball to our running backs. And I don't know, man. It's frustrating.
It is frustrating. Hey, will you pull up the screen real quick, Dan, and show everybody where the join button is? Or do you even get it?
What do you mean?
On the screen.
My screen? I don't get that.
Okay, I didn't think so. Dang. Okay. It's down there YouTube, somewhere. Though. It's not on the community page, you guys. I'm trying to think if I can find another login to use. And I might be able to do that. And then I will show you.
Okay, so yeah, it is right below me on the right. If you have it up on the web page, it'll say see perks, or that's probably because I'm a membership, but on the membership, but like it's right under the share button. It should say join next to the
we'll try to find it
notification. If someone can, like I said, it's not going to work best if you're on your phone, because I don't know how to use it on the phone. It's really, really backwards.
It is kind of a pain, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is what it is. Here, take this one, and I will try to find that.
All right, thank you, Max Carnage. Why do we keep going back to deep balls instead of taking what's there? It's because essentially they get into this rut where they get a little bored and they want to get down the field. And in Mahomes, we're seeing it on these RPOs called. He has the opportunity to hand the ball off to the running back, get 5 to 6 yards, and then have it be that. But he's pulling it and throwing it into windows that don't exist because teams are taking those RPOs windows away, or people are dropping it. And it's just getting frustrating. So I think the drops are directly affecting how Mahomes feels, because they should have more passing yards because of the drops, and they're not. So he gets a little frustrated with that too, and wants to get the ball downfield because he sees that it's there, it's happening, but the drops are making it so it looks bad, even though it's technically not.
Yeah, I'm with you. Okay, let me pull this up real quick. Alan, I don't think McCole Hardman has any trade value, if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I just don't think it's there to be had. And let's see, Kemper, I'll show you where it is here. It is right here. It's blue on a computer underneath the thumbs up, which everybody hit that thumbs up, will you? Here, I just did. It's not, there's no box around it on mobile. That's the only difference that I'm aware of. I hate California. It was that peak,
man.
Aikman homers. I don't know. I think he's been worse in the past, to tell you the truth. So maybe
it was bad though. It was bad. He was just I couldn't stand anything he said.
I mean, the thing about Patrick getting hit in the face with a hand, and that I can understand why they didn't call that.
He said I'm glad that wasn't
was that what he said?
A penalty on roughing the passer. I'm glad it wasn't.
I could not hear him over the screaming at the television that I was doing. So,
man,
do you think the Chiefs will run the table? Who gives them the biggest trouble?
Yeah,
I don't think they'll run the table.
think they can. But yeah, I agree. And like I said, we talked a little bit about last night. They're going to have that head scratcher. Just something.
Right. But right now, it looks like the biggest competition they face is the Chargers and the Bengals. Am I wrong?
No, I wouldn't disagree with that. I think that the Bengals might be that team that they have a head scratching loss to, because I think they're going to beat the Chargers again, or reestablish themselves, because they do kind of need that win. But I think the head scratching one's going to be the Bengals.
Yeah, I kind of think that too. Bill's going to start a petition to change it. Will you sign it? I think there's problems with it, but I think in general, like, that's stuff that used to be over the top when you get in guys' faces, like when they cross the goal line. Like, quite frankly, Tyreek backflips into the end zone. I think that's worth a call. Hi, kiddo. You having fun?
Yeah, you having fun?
Friends.
Yeah, friends.
Yeah.
Mommy.
Yeah.
All of our friends. There's like 500 of us here. It's
Yes, there's like 500 people.
Samir doesn't seem like P15 isn't running the ball as much as previous years. I think it would. Bye. I actually think it's about the same. It is a little bit ticked up from last year. Last year was a 26% run call, by my estimations, and that's trying to take the Patrick RPOs out.
Yeah.
It is a little bit up from there. I think I saw it was like 29% on the year the other day, before this last game. So that's still in flux. And we're going to start wrapping it up, you guys. I think we've covered most of these. We're going to hit Tom's and the other super chats. And then I am going to be on the draft show. You guys can check that out. We're here on YouTube as well as all the podcast platforms. That's Locked On NFL Draft. Just had to ask the question. In my humble opinion, 58 was best at his position to ever suit up for the Chiefs, except Bobby Bell. Keep matriculating down the road. Great job. I won't argue with you. I think he's the best player in the history of this franchise.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think Mahomes will pass him, but if he hasn't already done so, considering his accomplishments. But yeah, I think that's a given.
The Super Bowl does get you a little bit more clout.
MVP too.
Yeah.
It does give you some.
Although, I mean, that's fair, but that is only an annual award. When people look at history and they say, who's the best pass rusher that ever lived? It's Lawrence Taylor and Derek Thomas.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. So he's got a ways to go to get there. I mean, he's already put himself in the conversation with Tom Brady, so that's significant for his long-term longevity. Yeah. And that was the last super chat. So thank you, Tom. Thank you to everyone who supported us tonight. Thank you all for being here. Dan, thanks for your time away from the family.
Of course, you guys. This is one of the best things that we do. I love being able to talk to you guys, answer questions. And even though Ryan and I both talk too much, we are happy to be able to talk to you guys on Monday night.
And Knicks fan wanted to throw one in just to see if he could get me.
Always
I
does.
think they can win out, especially with defense play the way they are.
Yeah.
Thank you, Knicks fan.
Don't disagree.
I'm going to try to get out of here before someone else does so that I don't mess it up, because I feel bad when I miss them. Thank you for all the support. Check out the RGR store. Give thanks to all the RGR crew, including Sean, Aaron, Stevie, Gooch, Dan. Jeff Porter was in the house earlier, I think. So thank you all very much. We'll have content for you. Enjoy and have a happy Thanksgiving. If you would check out
very much so.
DraftKings for us, please do. And I'll have something for you, both members and non, later in the week. Have a good one.